All right, we're going to see what all the hype around here is all about. Everyone's saying this is the best trailer, best teaser since Rocky 3, so we got to see what's going on. Apparently there's like 15 new characters or something, so let's find out.
You wish to hear a story of the moon? That tale begins long, long ago.
Mister! Nefa's starting her story already!
Who's that?
Thanks for the heads up.
Oh? This is very ZZZ.
Oh, the moon's a long way off. We might go hungry, but at least we have plenty of time. Hey kid, that headpiece of yours is pretty unique.
Aaron!
Who designed it? Could you hook me up?
Oh, he's like a vampire.
In that era, there was no boundary between life and death.
What era?
Willpower flowed freely among countless beings. The primordial being that once ruled this planet made 3 moons rise from the earth.
Okay.
It was not until the funerary year that the primordial voice once again cried out in the darkness.
My lady.
The
Another
frost wind
harbinger.
sirens again. A laughably futile rebellion.
O pale white frost moon, I, your loyal emissary, and scion of Hyperborea, beseech you to cast down your gaze from the celestial dome above.
Is that the
May
elf
your
centaur?
gentle tears pierce the frigid night, and grant us, the forsaken and forgotten, your guiding light.
You didn't come here for the story,
Who the hell?
did you?
Finished already, huh?
No. It's just a greater storyteller than myself has come.
Arca?
Now, beyond the moonlight's reach, an ancient shadow brandishes its hunting claws, taking aim at the stars.
You're right. I came here for the moon.
My boy. Oh, he looks sick. That's the centaur. Dendro.
I'm afraid you have the wrong person. Now,
God.
be gone.
Another pyro DPS. Columbino.
In the water, the future mirrors the past. The veil of lies is slipping. Time is short. The moon's fall is nigh.
Shit. So the moon's gonna fall? What does that mean?
Here at last. And things look even messier
Alice.
than last time.
Well, Miss Alice, shall we begin?
Yo, who did Albedo's eyelashes?
There's no rush, and I'd like to catch up with an old friend first. And you, young
Pyro?
man?
Let's part
Scaramouche.
ways here. I have an old score of my own to settle.
Well, goddamn. I see what the hype is about. Look at all these goddamn new characters. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a duo. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 new characters teased. That's at least that many that they're introducing at some point. It'll probably be like 15, 16. Holy shit. Loaded patch. All right, that's just a hell of a lot of characters. And we do have all of their names, though. So we're going to go through them and we're just going to see what's going on a little bit. Maybe we'll find a couple of interesting titty bitties. So first one is Nicole Rain. That is this lady right here. Yeah. She's like an angel elf sort of butterfly. I like her design. She kind of looks almost similar style as Barbara. I don't know. This reminds me of like a church hat for some reason. I don't go to church often, but I know a thing or two about the church drip. We're not really getting any indication for what element she might have, but she's gold and purple, so possibly electro, maybe another lunar something having to do with overloaded. I don't really know. Or maybe crystallized because of this yellow and purple. I'm hoping it's a Geo thing because I feel like we're right back to Geo needing some love again. Okay, so in the interlude chapter Act 3, she was teased a bit as the name N. Just N. I don't know if you guys remember that, but she is a member of the Hexen Circle, which means she has some relation to Alice and the rest of these guys, including Rhindaughter. She's the prophetess of the Hexen Circle, and the other members regard her as the guide who never gets lost. That's pretty cool. Maybe she fights with a compass. She is mute. Skirk mentions that she was a different species and then became human. I don't know why you would choose human. I feel like other animals have a way easier life. Nothing else super interesting in here except for just that she may have been an angel as her previous species, according to Wolfie, my dude. Next is Aino. She looks a little ghostly. There is a screw in her hair. Interesting design choice. I like it. Maybe she's fucking nuts. But it looks like she has that classic creepy little girl trope where it's like cute, but also disturbing and, you know, like cute at a distance kind of thing. I'm not seeing any real resemblance of an element here either, just by the green and pink. Maybe Dendro. Maybe she has something to do with some sort of reaction between Dendro and something else. I don't know. There's nothing pink. I hope it's not Pyro, because Pyro has enough love right now. Pyro's peak. And she's in the opening scene here, right there, saying hello to Varka, it looks like. But it looks like she is the designer at the Clink Clank Crumb Cake Craft Shop. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Clink Clank Crumb Cake Craft Shop. Clink Clank Crumb Cake Craft Shop. Clink Clank Crumb Cake Craft Shop. All right. But the designer of Anefa, which is interesting because she is 10 years old and there's really nothing else on her except for the fact that the name comes from a national epic from Finland called the Kalevala, which is apparently very influential in Finland and inspired R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth mythology. That is pretty damn cool. But it's a story about the creation of Earth, so I don't know if that has anything to do with Aino here, but she has to do with the creation of Anefa, the Roomba, so I don't know. Next, finally, we can put a face and a scar to the name Varka. His quote, "You're right, I came here for the moon." Ominous, buddy. I like it. He is in the opening scene there, sitting on the edge of a cliff, contemplating life and all of its mysteries. How broody. He's also sharpening his sword here. And finally, turns around, giving us that dashing smile. I'm actually surprised there wasn't like a shink with like a little twinkle right here, or like a spark in the corner of his grin. But he's got scars all over, dude. And just by his outfit, I would assume this is correct. It looks like he is going to be Animo. He kind of has the same drip, at least the same colors as Jean. But he is the Grandmaster of the Knights of Favonius. He's out on a mission, which is why Jean is the current acting Grandmaster in his absence. We haven't had anything about him since literally, I think, 1.0. So half a year ago, he went on that trip. Bullshit. It's been 5. It's been 5 years, buddy. You lost track of time. Went out for some milk, lost track of time. Moral of this story, everybody loves this guy. Strongest dude in Mondstadt. Everyone's like, either I want to fight him or I want to... He's also affiliated with the Hexen Circle somehow, which I think is going to be revealed in this story. Better. They seem to be a big part of Nordcry. Now this is interesting. The last time he was mentioned in a quest, he had left a couple of notes for a few people just to update them on his little expedition. In which case, he left one for Lisa telling her that it was time that Razor learned about his human parents. I don't know if that has anything to do with the upcoming quest, but I hope so, because we haven't seen Razor in so long. But it does look like he has a soft spot for this Razor fella, because he did teach him how to fight with the Claymore, and also the etymology of Varka may mean wolf. So I feel like there's a little bit of a deeper story here that I would be very curious about. Next is Jehoda. Jehoda looks like a bat with combat boots and a pep in her step. Looks like another kind of like steampunky, cute vibe. I don't really know what's going on here. Bat doesn't give any real indication for any element that we know of. Maybe, I mean, I would guess Animo, right? She has goggles and bats fly. I don't fucking know, man. And there's literally nothing about her here, other than the fact that Jehoda in Slavic means strawberry. So maybe she's Dendro. I don't know. Overall, not the most interesting looking character to me. I don't know. Next is Durin. Need I say more? He's a dragon. His design looks incredible. He's like a vampire, but also a dragon, and also a broody emo boy getting in touch with his human roots. How sweet. Now we can see him here, and he's looking kind of broody. We're not seeing a vision, but I'm pretty sure it's safe to say he's going to be Pyro. He is a dragon after all. He was created by Rheindotter and was a rival to Dvalin, whom killed him. So maybe a bit of a grudge there. His corpse is the skeleton in Dragonspine. Fun fact. The blood from the corpse was harvested to make Durin. And if you remember, Rheindotter also created Albedo, so kind of like brothers. But also, Albedo's clone was absorbed by Durin, so they are like brothers, only closer. Yada yada yada, blah blah blue. Another mention of the Hexen Circle. It looks like his original name was Hummus? I don't know how to pronounce that. I hope it's not just hummus. But this is interesting because it actually plays into his character. It's formed when dead plants and animal matter break down and they become dark in color, which is interesting because that's how he was made. He absorbed animal matter, Albedo's twin, and became Red Eyes Black Dragon. Hummus, I don't know, helps boost fertility. So maybe he's pregnant. Next, Sandrone, a Fatui Harbinger. Now this is interesting because we don't have a character like this yet, where we have a duo, right? We have duos with like Kanich and Ahau, Shangling and Guoba, but we don't have one where the partner is way bigger than the character, which is the case here. She has a wind-up in her back, so maybe she's the real robot. Maybe her soul is in this robot, and you have to keep the main body alive for her to function. Whoa. But I assume the robot's going to be doing most of the fighting. It would be really funny if that wasn't the case and he was just standing there. And there is no hint of an element either, but she's red, maybe Pyro, hope not. We just have too many good Pyro characters already. I'm seeing a little bit of blue, maybe, I don't really know. The robot has blue eyes, maybe Cry or Hydro. I know they're focusing on reactions a little more with No Cry, so maybe she has something to do with Frozen or Melt, maybe Lunar of either of those. Who knows? Sandrone is here with the robot, at least. Yeah, being held by the robot. That's kind of cute. Gazing into the distance. She has a terrible personality. She was the only one at Signora's funeral who didn't close their eyes to pay their respects. So needless to say, doesn't respect her. Maybe she's a little jealous of the two key aspects that Senora had. Okay, now this is interesting. It looks like there's somewhat of a resemblance to Catherine, which I could see a little bit. They both have the little bonnet. The dress is similar, showing a little more shoulder here, careful. But it's definitely a similar vibe. The idea is that Sandrone made the Catherines. Interesting. Next, Lauma. So Lauma is who was in the previous Nordcry teaser. This lady here who does indeed have quite the affection for four-legged beasts and also turns into one. But we can see here real tiny that is a Dendrovision. And it has been a little while since we got a Dendro character that actually has anything really to do with Dendro. Kinich isn't really like a Dendro character, but her drip is crazy cool. You could tell they're dipping a little more into like classical, fantastical fantasy, you know, instead of like the medieval roots that it had. Now it's a little more mythology. And there's really not anything here except for the fact that she's part of the Frostmoon Scions, which we're going to learn more about in Nordcry, which I'm excited about. The name is part of Lithuanian mythology, which is interesting because it looks like they kind of followed it to a T. Basically, a lady who can appear as the form of animals, anthropomorphic in appearance, and basically a woman with the lower body of a female goat. Finally, we get a goat lady. Sometimes half dog, sometimes half mare, but also only has one eye, and you could see her bangs are very tastefully draping over that one eye. In some myths, she was supposed to marry the thunder god, but did not because she had her heart set on the moon, which is also interesting because Frostmoon Scions, this whole patch is about the moon. So bravo Hoyoverse for sticking with legitimate mythology. It's pretty cool. I'm very excited for her. Next is Nefer. Not entirely sure what she's all about, but I love this design. She's green. She looks like a snake a little bit. Very Egyptian vibe going on. She's here hanging out with Varka for some reason. I guess they're on a mission together. Not entirely sure what she's on about, but yeah, sure. Let's pause only when the ribbon is covering her face. Yep, again. Let's do it again. Yep, perfect. Oh my God. Anyway, she looks like a viper, which is very cool. I am with this design heavy. Again, not seeing an element, but I assume she's going to have something to do with Dendro. It would be kind of strange if she was anything other than that because she's covered head to toe in green. And that is what it says here. So I think she might have something to do with poison. Considering she looks so much like a snake, I can very easily see that this might be our first like damage over time elemental application that's not a reaction like burning. And there is quite literally nothing about this character except for the etymology, which I like. But Nefer is Egyptian, representing a trachea and heart, which is maybe the first character that they based nothing of this over, unless it has something to do with her actual character. Maybe she fights through speech? That could be cool, like a siren? If so, maybe she'll be like a catalyst wielding shout fighter. Maybe casting like verbal spells or something. Maybe she just says hurtful things, calls you ugly, and you hurt yourself. She's like, you're stupid and have no friends. You're like, Next is Flynn's, and I need you to listen to me. I need you to listen. I need this guy on my team. This guy looks so fucking cool. And look, he's playing cool. I'm afraid you have the wrong person. I'm up to no good. He's cool as hell. And look at this. Look at this badass entrance. There's like blood, water, something, demon hands. It opens up and he's like, oh, hello. This is obviously like first person point of view of the thing he's fighting, in which case, not a care in the world. He's got it. Handled it 100%. Also, that little transition. Shit, hold on. Gotta be quick. This is a graveyard. So he has something to do with ghosts or demons or spirits or something. And blue flame. It's about damn time. I don't care that we have 1,000 pyro characters. Give me the blue flame. Although this looks like Electro, so not entirely sure what's going on here. My guess is that he's either pyro, electro, or has something to do with lunar overloaded. This is saying he's electro. I don't quite buy it. I don't quite buy it. Again, nothing on the character except for the fact that he's Slavic. Could have guessed that by the name. Look at this. Kuriel Chudamirovich Flins. Call me Flins. Yeah, did you think we were going to call you anything other than Flins? No. But allegedly, the Slavic deity god of death, which is fitting for dealing with spirits. Maybe he's an exorciser. Very much looking forward to Flins. Columbina. Now this is loaded. Columbina was teased to be out a while ago. Never was. And here she is, delicately dancing on water. Not really dancing, but you get it. Playing with leaves. She is blind, possibly. She also has braided pie pastry on her face, alluding to the fact that she is not done cooking, or that deep inside she's actually really sweet after she kills everyone. But look at this design, man. So cool. Now we know a lot more about her, although we still don't have an element. It was thought that she would be cryo. Not entirely convinced, but she is wearing a lot of white and a little bit of purple. Maybe she's a lunar superconduct type of gal. She's the third Harbinger, Fatui Harbinger. And again, they are ordered in terms of power, so she is up there. Tartaglia and Wander are wary of her. Arlecchino is not, because Arlecchino slaps. People are speculating that she could be part Seelie in some way because of the little wings. They kind of mimic Seelie patterns and appearances, but she's based off of the little dove in the Italian theater, which all the Harbingers are based off of, which insinuates innocence, but no. And finally, we have Alice. And what a chaotic mess this hat is. And she is the only character that has the vision in the picture, so we know at least we are getting one pyro character here. She's towards the end of the video here, at the end of a boat, seemingly in Node Cry because everything's metal. We have that little thing. I like this little guy. And it looks like we're getting more of Albedo in the future story, which is cool because largely he's just an awesome character. She's known as A, some of the stories. She's Klee's mom and founder of the Hexen Circle. This is hilarious. It's unclear what Alex does on her adventures besides satisfying her personal curiosity. She's just straight up hanging out. But during the story, Teyvat's borders have grown fragile these past 2 years. Looks like mommy's gonna have to get busy, said by Klee, obviously, or anyone else who calls her mommy, which could be a lot of people. But Skirk also calls her the sustainer of the world's borders, so I guess she has something to do with the ozone layer. Sounds like she's the cell membrane. And honestly, she looks like she's having too good a time considering the current state of Teyvat. The Abyss is sort of breaking your borders. Maybe you want to send someone down and take care of that. Everybody loves her, blah, blah, blah. Now, there is a ton in here about her history and what's going on right now, but it's going to be covered in this story. We're going to get a full wrap up of who Alice is and why she's important and what's going on with her as soon as we get her in the story. But basically, she likes to have a good time. Now, I'm going to give you the top 3 characters I'm most excited for, and I want you guys to do the same. See if we align here, because personally, there are some characters here that I just need. I simply need them. Number 1, Varka, obviously. Need I say more? Daddy's home. 2, Durin. Duh. Sad backstory, uplifting at the end of it, because he transforms into a human. Gotta see what he's all about. And to be quite honest, number 3 is a tie between a few. There are a couple I just don't really care about at all, like Columbina, Sandrone, Jehoda, Aino, but I'm interested in Nicole, Lauma, Nefer, Flins, and Alice. I can't really give you a third. I'm kind of equally interested in all of these guys, but if I had to pick, man, maybe Nefer. I got to think about Egyptian mythology. I like it a lot. And I also like snakes, so she's probably going to be number 3. Not because of the leg band. I don't care about it.